YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Trey, and we back with another video. And as you can see, the title of today's video is The Importance of Gratitude and Why It's Life Changing. So we're gonna get into it. Well, first, before I get into anything, this channel is not about me knowing all about life or anything like that. I'm just sharing my experiences and the lessons I've learned to hopefully help people not make the same mistakes and decisions that I've made. So that's what this channel is about. For one, let's just start off. But so first, we're gonna get into the fact of why gratitude is important. So most people think gratitude is just saying like, thank you, or like, yeah, thanks, bro. But it's actually one of the most powerful mindset shifts you could make. You know, is to have a grateful mindset. And people always spend their lives chasing the next thing. They always want. We often overlook what we already have. And not gonna lie, I used to be a part of that group, not gonna lie. But we're gonna get to the first point, and that is gratitude changes what you focus on. So as humans, our minds naturally look for problems to solve because that's just how the brain works. It's a problem solving machine, so it naturally looks for problems. Even if you don't have nothing going on right then at the moment, you could be happy, but it's naturally just wired to look for problems to solve. But gratitude, it trains you to notice all the blessings that you don't see, or to, like, a lot of times we will put an imaginary wall in front of our face and not really see what we already have because we looking either too far ahead or looking for, like I said, other things that we think we want. But the brain, it usually notices what's missing more than what's already there. Like I said, that's just a part of the problem solving machine that it is. But if you constantly focus on what you lack or don't have, then you're gonna start to create frustration, and it's gonna pile on you real quick. And gratitude, it really helps you recognize the opportunities and the progress you make because it keeps you grounded. And how I used to be compared, well, how I am now compared to how I used to be, as far as like being grateful and appreciative, it's done changed my life. Like, I used to, like, a lot of times I look back and think like, dang, I really took that for granted. Like, wow, man, like, I can't even believe that I acted this way or thought this way, like, or didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's really changed my life as far as like just becoming better mentally and just as a person. It's really changed my life and the relationships around me. So when you change what you focus on, you know you start really changing how you feel. And that'll lead us to point number two, which is gratitude creates happiness in the present moment. And this is really important because a lot of people forget, and a lot of people's minds are either in the past or the future. And a lot of times we just don't even take a second to look at what's around us or what we have now. And that, I ain't gonna lie, I've done that plenty of times. And man, that's one of the things I regret doing, because you start to like realize the importance of now, and that every moment is now, and that you know every second that passes is a second that you can't get back, or a moment you can't redo. So, and it's really just, a lot of people put aside happiness, and they wait and try to say, oh, I'm gonna be happy until, I ain't gonna be happy until I make $1 million, or I ain't gonna be happy until I get this new scat pack, or you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Like, a lot of people think that you know life is just about that. And thing about life is there's always going to be problems and adversities and issues that occur. Like, say for instance, say you did get that scat pack you wanted, right? All right, so you happy, right? Now check this out. The day goes by and it's the next day after you get your scat pack, and boom, you get a call. One of your family members just passed away. Now all of that happiness is gone. Now you sad. You know what I'm saying? But you still got a scat pack, but you sad. You know, so that's just why gratitude is very important, because it allows you to enjoy life while still pursuing the bigger dreams and goals and aspirations you have. You know, so appreciate today's blessing instead of working and waiting for tomorrow's blessing. So gratitude for me, I say, in that factor has really changed my mindset, because it's made me realize and just enjoy, as far as like the journey of things in the process. Because you know, the destination, it's nothing without the journey. That's really the real story, is the journey itself. The destination is just the end result of all your hard work. So it's really helped me stay in the moment and stop looking ahead. So we move on to point number 3. Gratitude improves relationships. And this is because people, they really thrive when they feel appreciated. That's what I've noticed. And a lot of people, you know, they take their loved ones for granted, friends for granted, shoot, partners for granted. Man, I'm a victim of that too. But gratitude and appreciation, you know, towards someone not only shows that person that you are thankful, but it also shows that you have, you know what I'm saying, you are very appreciative and you are thankful for the things you do have, and you value it, you know, regardless of your circumstance. And which in return, it makes you a better friend, family member, partner, shoot, even a better leader. And you know, just really trust me, because little acts of appreciation, they do go a long way. You know, I've learned to express my love and appreciation more openly ever since I've changed my mindset. And one thing that I love to do now that I didn't like to do is write appreciation letters. And this for me is like, if you was to ask me this about how I feel about this, like especially just 6 months ago, it's like, man, I mean, I ain't really have a problem with them. It's just I really didn't see a meaning in it like I do now, you know, that's because my mindset wasn't in a grateful, appreciative mindset. I was always looking for the next thing, or I was always focused on the future or the past, not now. So, but now it's like whenever I give someone an appreciation letter, which I love to do, it's just seeing, you know what I'm saying, the smile it puts on their face. That's what makes my day from it, you know. So that's just something that how gratitude has really changed my life and the trajectory that it's going, you know. But moving to point 4, we have gratitude helps you through difficult times. And this because gratitude itself doesn't ignore problems, it actually helps you endure them. And you know, adversity, since it's a part of life, you know, you just have to be grateful during the challenges, and that's what really builds resiliency. Because you start to look at the adversities in a different light. You start to look for the lessons, the growth, and the opportunities within the struggle instead of just the struggle itself. And gratitude, it's really helped me stay grounded during hard times, because, like I said, you don't really focus on the suffering itself anymore. You focus more so on how can you improve and how can you come out a better person during that pain. And, you know, just remember, you can acknowledge pain while still being grateful. That's a big thing that a lot of people forget and get misconstrued. But the last but not least, point number 5, gratitude makes you rich without more money. And this is because when you have gratitude, your definition of wealth, it changes. You know, you start looking, you stop looking at circumstances and having money as being like rich in life, because you really start to realize and understand that those things aren't really fulfilling, and that they really aren't even that meaningful as a lot of people make them to be, because it's very promoted nowadays, I say, around us. But things I say, such as health, family, friends, you know, peace of mind, and your purpose, those are all things that you find fulfillment in, and they have true meaning. And it's a lot of people right now that have a lot of things, material things. They have all the money, cars, clothes, jewelry, everything, but they're still, not happy or satisfied, and they're not fulfilled. And this is because, you know, when you're chasing something that has no meaning attached to it, really you're chasing something that can never be grasped in a way, if you think about it, because you're always chasing the next thing. Even when you do get to what you wanted, it's another thing now that you want. So now you're just in a constant loop, in a constant cycle. And gratitude, it really creates that sense of abundance for you. Since real wealth, it isn't just possessions, it's appreciating what you already have. So with that being said, what are the blessings you are overlooking? You know, what would happen if you appreciated today just as much if you appreciate your future goals? You know, how can gratitude change your life? Just really think about that, and just try to find a way to incorporate gratitude into your daily life. And that's something that I've, you know, really changed and do now. I try to find a way, or not try to, I find a way and I implement gratitude in my day every day. Like, no ifs, ands, or but about it. So, but with that being said, y'all just be safe. I love y'all. Stay blessed, stay appreciative, stay thankful, and just stay positive and spread positivity. All right, Trey out.